Hello friends, as you can see right now I'm standing in front of the Badrinath temple. The weather is beautiful here today. If you don't know, Badrinath is one of the four holiest places in the Himalayas in India, and it is at an altitude of about 11,000 feet, so we are really high up. Right below the temple you see the Alaknanda river that is flowing. It is said that this temple, there's the murti of Narayan, which is an aspect of Vishnu that we see inside the temple. It is said that in Satya Yuga, which is an extremely evolved spiritual age on this planet, the great Lord Narayana, the great Lord Vishnu, incarnated as Narayana, and he incarnated with his twin soul Nara, who was. They played the role of guru and disciple, the man and God, the supreme soul and the individual soul seeking God. And both of them meditated in this very spot for thousands and thousands of years throughout Satya Yuga. And when that happened, Divine Mother Lakshmi decided to nurture them because this was so high up. It was pretty much snow covered. It was very hard to find nutrition or food here. So she presented herself as these trees that bear a kind of Indian berry. I don't know what the English word would be, but in Sanskrit that berry is called Badri. So this place in the scriptures is often referred to as Badri Vanam or Badri Kashrama, referring to that berry that grows here. And Badrinath simply means the Lord of Badri, and the murti inside is called Badri Narayan. This place has a lot of associations with the story of the Mahabharata as well. To start with, Vyasa, we will be visiting the cave where Vyasa meditated and wrote the Mahabharata very soon in the village of Mana, which is about 3 kilometers from here. Vyasa himself starts the story of the Mahabharata by first offering his prayers to Nara and Narayana, who are the lords of this holy site of Badrinath. And later on in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, I remember all my past lives, but you just don't. We both have been together a lot in the past." And he says in Satya Yuga, it was I who incarnated as Narayana and you were Nara, showing that the guru-disciple relationship between Krishna and Arjuna was being played out for millions of years, and in a way this story is told to us to show us how it works, how the spiritual path unfolds when we are able to attune to that higher consciousness. So not only that, I'm going to be embarking on a very interesting adventure as part of this trip. Some of us are going to be going up to this high altitude lake called Satopanth. There's a trail that the Pandava brothers, who were, the prime characters of the Mahabharata, at the end of their life, they decide to renounce the world and they decide to walk towards the Himalayas. They literally, as it said, they decide to walk towards the heavens. So that trail that they took is called Swargarohini, or the ascent to the heaven. And on this trail, each one of them, Draupadi and the four Pandava brothers, have to leave their body in order to reach the final destination, which is this holy lake, or rather heaven. So we will be taking that trail and we'll be going up to 15,000 feet on this extremely interesting adventure, looking at all these different places which have a lot of holy associations. So I'll be sharing more of that with you in a different video. But coming back to the story of Badrinath and this temple itself, Adi Shankaracharya, who was a great Hindu saint, or rather a master, traveled all across the country. And when he reached the Himalayas, this was actually a Buddhist monastery because this area is very close to Tibet. And he knew intuitively that this was a place that was a very holy Hindu temple at one point in time, dedicated to the Lord Narayana. So he realized or knew that that idol that was used for worshipping was actually thrown into the river Alaknanda at a certain point. The point that you're seeing now is called Narad Kund. So that's where Adi Shankara asked the people living here to go rescue that murti. He won over the Buddhists who were having control of this temple through arguments and to debate rather. And he established this murti of Narayana. Not only that, he wanted very austere and traditional ways of worship to happen in this temple. So he brought South Indian Brahmins from Kerala, and he said they have to continue the lineage and tradition of maintaining and taking care of the murti in this temple. So even today, the priests in Badrinath are originally from the descendants of those priests from the times when Shankara established this temple as a temple for Narayana. Now, to share something that is less known and it's very interesting, is that a lot of people also believe that this temple is closely associated with the great master Mahavatar Babaji. If you don't know who that is, or if you've not heard, I would refer you to Autobiography of a Yogi. I myself am a disciple of the great yoga master Paramhansa Yogananda, and he talks a lot about this self-realized being Babaji, who still lives in the Himalayas for hundreds of years. Now, Yogananda many times in his own life mentioned how Babaji was none other than Lord Krishna in a previous incarnation. So it all makes sense and comes together. What I wanted to share with you is, interestingly, the murti in Badrinath, as many people have shared with me, and apparently even the priests have shared with some close associates, resembles the image of Babaji as it was presented by Yogananda in the Autobiography of a Yogi. So a lot of us believe this is in fact a temple for Mahavatar Babaji. And the photo that you're seeing now, that you're about to see, is a never before seen image of the murti in Badrinath without any of the flowers or the jewelry. And it's the pure stone image that was taken from the river hundreds of years ago. And as you can see, the murti bears a strong resemblance to Mahavatar Babaji. This picture itself is so rare. It's from a book that was written very early in the 1900s, and I don't think there's any other picture of this murti that even exists. So it is a fairly interesting place, and in my own journey, I will certainly be meditating and tuning into Babaji, because the Satopanth lake that we are going to is also associated with Mahavatar Babaji, and there's a lot of stories of how he appeared to people there, and he has initiated people into the meditation practice of Kriya Yoga at that spot. So I really look forward to that, and hopefully you can also make this journey at some point in your life. It is truly sacred and a wonderful place to be. God bless you.